Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy LLB. I hope all having a great day. And today I'm going to be doing a bit more talking, and I just thought I'd reflect on 2021 and give you guys some advice leading into 2022 in terms of producing, marketing, networking, and just give you a bit of a brain dump as to what I would do going into 2022. Just some advice that I've had from other producers that's really helped me, and hopefully I can pass it on to you guys as well. But before we get into it, I do want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you for copying a kit, watching the videos, commenting, literally just doing anything, because literally all the support keeps me going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's been an up and down year for me personally, but without you guys I wouldn't have been able to power through, and I wouldn't have had any opportunities that I've had this year if it wasn't for you guys. So yeah, huge thank you to all of you. But yeah, let me get into these gems for you. Alright, so first thing I want to do is kick things off with giving you guys some plugin recommendations. Just plugins that I go to every single time, and plugins that I've only just started to use but I know are going to be staple in the next year, within 2022. And I'll leave the cheapest links to these plugins down below in the description, so if any of you want to jump on them, then they're right there for you. I don't want to go into detail with all of them, I just want to tell you exactly what I use them for real quick and just blast through them so you guys can just, you know, use them for yourself. So first one is Analog Lab. Insane synth. It's literally got every sound you can think of. There's companies like Loophole and producers like prodllb who specifically make banks for trap, for R&B, and there's tons and tons of presets anyway that come with it. So Analog Lab is a solid investment. If you're on a super tight budget and still need a decent synth, Expand 2 has literally got everything. They have tons of expansion packs as well. We've got guitars, mallets, synths, polysynths, basses, even atmospheric sounds. They've just got everything in there as well, and it's crazy cheap. Obviously it's not going to sound as good as Analog Lab, but it still sounds crazy. So yeah, Expand 2 is a really good one. A little underdog VST that I've been using quite a lot, and I've noticed a lot of people don't actually use it, is the Electric 88. It's a Rhodes VST and it's by Waves. This thing sounds crazy. I got it super cheap like a couple of years ago, used it a bit, completely forgot about it, and then recently just started using it again, and it works really well for adding layers to samples, and it's just got a really nice realistic texture to it. So that's a crazy Rhodes if you want to jump on that. Now for effects, especially for you guys that want to make really cool samples, I'd start off by getting the FabFilter Pro EQ3. That's just like my staple EQ, because it's not just like the parametric EQ, it's got tons more functionality. You can do dynamic EQ processing, you can EQ the stereo, EQ the mono, it just works for everything. So the Pro EQ3, that's the one that I've got. That's literally my go-to EQ, and I don't think I'll change that anytime soon. For the most bang for buck on effects, I'd definitely recommend the Effect Rack by Soundtoys. It basically covers all bases. You've got the crystallizer that's got like modulation, you've got delay with the Echo Boy and Echo Boy Jr., you've got the Pan Man so you can just move things left to right with your samples. Decapitator just thickens out any sound that's sounding a bit too thin in the mix. It's literally got everything you need for spicing up your melodies, spicing up your samples. The Decapitator even sounds crazy on bass as well sometimes. Another plugin from Soundtoys that I don't think is included in the Effect Rack is Little Alter Boy. If you like to put vocals in your beats, you know, like those like R&B, Rod Wave kind of beats, even like trap beats, you know, you put those dark vocals, then Little Alter Boy just makes your vocals just sound crazy. It's got like the 4-man pitch shifter, so it just kind of messes with your voice, makes it sound like a bit deeper, a bit higher. So yeah, you can basically get any vibe from it. Now some sick plugins for just adding a bit of color to your melodies, adding some saturation and just giving it that realistic vibe, especially for like guitar, piano kind of melodies. First one is the CLA-76. That's by Wave, and that's a compressor. So anything that doesn't have a lot of transients, so not a guitar, I'd say something more like synthy, more pads, or more like soft piano kind of sounds. The CLA-76 is great for that. It's a really nice compressor. It gives you that real warm kind of sound. If you do like to make samples that have got a lot of transients like guitar melodies, then the Pugichild Compressor is probably the one to go for. I don't know how to explain how it works honestly, but the Pugichild just does a much better job of dealing with the transients when you're compressing. The RC20, the go-to plugin for a lot of guys. You guys probably know this one by now. So yeah, it just adds some nice vinyl sounds. You can add some nice distortion to it, some tube saturation. It's got a built-in EQ. You can mess around with the width. You can add reverb to it as well. That's a crazy all-in-one bang for your buck, decent plugin as well. For a really nice different sounding reverb, like a realistic reverb, then the Abbey Road Chambers reverb sounds insane. For my guitars, I always use that Chambers reverb. Anything realistic, I'll use the Chambers reverb. It just, I don't know, it just sounds way different to like a normal reverb. And then the last staple plugin that I'd recommend would probably be the J37. That one's by Waves as well, and yeah, it just adds some really nice tape saturation, a little bit of detuning. It's very subtle, but it does add a lot of warmth, and it really sort of softens up those melodies, just making them sound just cleaner and vibier. So yeah, they're my plugin recommendations going into 2022. You'll notice I included a lot more effects plugins than I did VSTs. Reason being, a lot of these VSTs do similar things. There's the more synthy based plugins, and then there's the more sample based plugins. I know Contact isn't in everyone's budget, so I didn't really want to recommend something that's like crazy expensive, especially when you gotta get all the third party sample libraries. But yeah, what I've noticed is the effects do transform melodies the most. You know, VSTs are good foundations, good starters to get the vibe going, but you can really transform and find your own sound with some of the effect plugins that are listed there. So yeah, that's why it's more effect plugin based than VSTs. So yeah, there's my recommendations for plugins, man. That's the 2022 list right there. Now, marketing. Age-old marketing. I get asked about this quite a lot. But yeah, marketing, especially when you're just starting out, seems really difficult. It seems like, you know, everyone that's doing well has got like this secret sauce to growing an audience, to, you know, getting more followers, subscribers, getting more views. When in reality, it's really simple. It's going to sound cliche and everyone says this in every single video, but just keep going. That's all you have to do. Just be consistent. Set your goals for 2022. If that means you want to upload 100 videos this year, set targets for that. Break it down by month. Okay, how many videos do I need to make per month if I'm going to hit 100 videos this year? Set those small monthly targets and I guarantee you'll get to it. And you're in control of that. You're not in control of who subscribes to you. There is things that help, you know, like asking people to subscribe, call to actions, sending out free stuff, giving away free things, and then they can subscribe to get the free things. But I don't know about you, but for me, if I'm going to follow someone, like something, subscribe to someone, I'm going to do it if I really mess with the content. That has to be the priority for me. So I'd honestly advise to not get too bogged down with the marketing side of things. The audience will come and the sales will come in time, provided that you're giving a good service and the product is good. And that will come through repetition, you know, doing these things over and over and over again. Got to be disciplined. You got to have some kind of schedule, whether it's loose or quite a tight schedule, but just make it work for you. Everyone's got their own workflow. So figure out one that you can stick to best, and man, just go and smash the competition. All you got to do is outlast people. But yeah, some spaces that I would recommend going into would be Discords. Either set up your own Discord or be crazy active in a ton of other producers' Discords. I have a Discord, Chucky Beats, BusyWorks Beats, J Cactus, Scanner. Everyone's got Discords running right now, so get in there, be active. The more your name pops up, the more value you can provide in these Discords. And when I say value, I mean free loops, collabing with other producers, entering contests, entering giveaways. The more your name pops up with these high value, not spammy, then that's what's going to make people remember you, want to go find you on other socials. You put those two together and then you get growth. And to be fair, like, out of everything I've tested, giving away free stuff is always the best way to grow. Just be sensible about it. You know, if you're giving away something for free, just make a quick landing page using MailChimp, MailerLite, or find a service like ToneDen that gives like a call to action when you give away that free thing. So let's say you make a free loot pack. In exchange for that loot pack, you want to get an email from them. That's a really good way to build up your email list, to grow on Instagram, to go on YouTube, whatever channel you want to grow on. Make something for free, and then that can be their call to action to get that free thing. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend going into 2022. If you're a new producer, if you've kind of got an audience but just want to keep growing, then trust me, free stuff is definitely the way forward. And just being super active on these platforms. Oh, TikTok's a really good one too. I don't know too much about it, so I don't want to go in too much detail. But yeah, from just using it and just like going through the content, there doesn't seem to be a lot of guys that are going hard with TikTok. So as a producer, that's definitely a good space to try and infiltrate. All right, now I thought I would throw out some networking tips, just ways to expand your circle. And again, this kind of ties in with marketing. So networking is so simple, but it sounds so complicated, but it really doesn't have to be. And this has been a big goal for me this past year, and that is networking. I don't know how accurate this is, but I'd probably say the majority of my growth has been through networking this year, just meeting new people, building new relationships. It's been the most fun year for me as a producer, simply because I've been networking and I've just been meeting new people. And how do you meet new people? Just reach out to them, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok, email, doesn't matter. Reach out to people who you realistically want to work with and who would actually want to work with you as well. If you live in the same country, great. Get on a train, get on a bus, get a lift from a friend, drive over there yourself if you have a car, and just meet people face to face. Meeting people face to face, and anyone that goes to a lot of studio sessions can vouch for this. Meeting people face to face is hands down the best way to build a relationship. One, because you're in a room with that person, the conversation just flows way easier. We all do the same thing, so don't worry about it being too awkward, because, you know, we're all producers, we all have something to talk about. But the main thing from that is that your circle just expands. You meet one person who knows a bunch of other producers, he puts you onto them, you can meet up with them, with him or without him. You know some producers, you can put him onto them. It just works both ways, and those friendships, those relationships are so important. So yeah, I'm almost at the end right now. I just wanted to go into a few producing recommendations, just a few tips and some advice as to what I would do as a producer if you are wanting to get better, if you just want to get better at your craft, if you just want to be a better beat maker, a better producer. So going into 2022, and I don't care how much experience you have as a producer, I still do this to this day. I know a lot of other YouTube producers that still do this today, and that is to stay learning. Honestly, stay learning. It keeps things way more interesting. It gives you more inspiration to make new stuff, and you just get better as a producer because of it. So don't sleep on tutorials after a certain time. I can guarantee there's definitely producers that have a smaller following or less of an audience that have some producing tricks up their sleeve that they're sharing on their YouTube channels or on their IG that you probably don't know of. Trust me, FL Studio is deep, and you probably don't know half as much as you think you do, including myself. So once a day, once every other day, just brush up on some tutorials, watch some new guys, watch some guys that you like to watch. Some good recommendations for me: for Logic Pro, Ocean; for making Playboy Carti type beats, Metro Boomin kind of beats, Scanner; drill beats, J Cactus; R&B kind of sample vibes, Prod by Learner, Cavan Dignam; for stuff that's coming up like NFTs or anything beat related, BusyWorks Beats. anything dark trap related like Wheezy-esque style, just hard hitting sounding beats, tri-freeze, virtual kind of beats, and viral. Just go ahead and find a bunch of producers who you vibe with, who you just like their style of content, and just learn from them, man. Just keep taking things that you think you can add to your own arsenal and just slowly build up those abilities, man. And this stuff helps like crazy, especially when you get in a studio with other producers and rappers. You can catch a vibe real quick, and yeah, it's impressive, man. You're good at what you do, so why wouldn't you want to be good at what you do? So yeah, that is gonna be it, man. But yeah, let me know down below what your goals are for 2022. I'm intrigued to know. But just as a small bit of advice to see this video out, set these goals and make a plan, make a solid plan. Break it down month by month, week by week, even day by day if you have to. Make these goals achievable and make them so that you're in control, okay? You don't really have control over how big a channel grows, but you do have control over the quality of your videos. You do have control over the quality of your products or your services, and you do have control over the marketing, the amount of outreach you're doing, the amount of free content that you're putting out. They're the ones that indirectly are going to make you grow. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Happy new year to all of you guys. I hope you have a great year. Again, I've left the links to all of the plugins, all the recommendations down in the description, and of course my new Chambers bundle kit is out, so I've also left the link to that kit in the description as well. Thank you so much for your support, and if you're new, consider subscribing, man. Let's go build this producer game for 2022, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.